Creative Studio has reached the end of this row, so I'm going to just pull up the bobbin thread, pull the thread to the top, then I'm going to cut the top thread and the bobbin thread. I'm going to take my machine down to the left side. Instead of just clicking OK and letting the machine crawl down there, take it down to the left side. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Let the machine take a stitch where the next row is going to begin. I'll pull up the bobbin thread, click stop. Now I'm going to take that bobbin thread and I'm going to secure the end of the thread that I pulled up to the top around a straight pin so that it doesn't get removed accidentally. And when I roll the quilt, that will be the start point of the next row. And I've reached underneath and I've cut the thread. Now I'm just going to roll my quilt, then I'll reposition the machine head. I'll do a relocate, and I'll be good to go to quilt the next row. Again, the needle is sitting at the start point of this next row. This is where the machine took the stitch that indicates that the row should start quilting there. I'll just right click, go down to relocate, shift all to one point, click it, click yes. Okay. Crosshair indicates the needle is in the correct position to start the next row. Now I read all the time about those that run out of, they don't have enough pattern at the bottom of the quilt, or they have too much pattern at the bottom of the quilt and they have to figure out something to do. I have 2 rows left. Notice that the crosshair says it's right along the top edge of this next row to quilt, and I have selected the last 2 rows. It says I have 22.5 inches, 5/8 inches of pattern left. I'll take my tape measure, measure from the needle down to the end of the quilt top, and it's about 23 inches. So I have actually about almost 23.6 and I need 23, so I'm going to make the adjustment using this arrow at the bottom, center bottom wedge arrow. That is the only way you should increase or decrease the amount of pattern you have. So I'm going to bring this down until it reads 23. That's a little too much. Increase it slightly. Okay, 23.07. I can live with that. So I'll just leave it there. Now I'm going to go up and I'm going to save this project because I know that I'm saving it in a good position. The only thing I will do before I start quilting, I will take the machine down and place the machine along the right edge and check the crosshair to make sure the pattern is where I want it to be. I'm ready to quilt the last row. I've relocated and the needle is sitting right here where the crosshair is. I've drawn a boundary around the remaining area to be quilted. Now I'm just going to adjust this pattern to fit. Pattern is all adjusted. Now I'm going to quilt this last row. Okay, this quilt's all finished, but before I close out this video, I'm going to show you one more thing. started a new quilt group, Repeat Patterns Edge to Edge. I have Designed by Deb's Feathers pattern in the preview window. I'm going to click on Repeat Patterns. The machine is sitting in the upper left corner, so I'm simply going to put in the total width. I'm going to leave the height set the way it is. The height is 12.01, the width is 12. I'm going to leave that like it is. I'm going to put in the width of this quilt. This quilt is 69 inches wide, and it is 79 inches long. So I just put those two numbers in. Total width 69, total height 79. I come over, I click OK. Now my reference point is set for the upper left corner. When I click OK, the patterns are going to be put on the screen. Okay, there they are. Everything is working. The machine, the needle is in the upper left corner. The start and the end of this pattern is at the top. That doesn't make any difference to me. I'll quilt this first row. I'll cut the bobbin thread. I'll bring the machine back to the left side. Click OK. Let it go and take a stitch at the beginning of this next row. And mark that spot by securing the bobbin thread, and then I'll place the needle at that point. After I've rolled the quilt, I'll right click and I'll do a relocate, shift all to one point, I'll click that point, click yes, and I'll let Creative Studio shift all the patterns into the new quilting area. You can see it has done that. Now this first row would have been sewn, and it would have been toggled sewn, so I'm going to do that. Give us an indication that it is sewn. Now, I sewn this row, cut the bobbin thread, went down, let the machine take a stitch at the beginning of this next row, pull the bobbin thread up, secured it to a pin, cut the bobbin thread underneath, roll the quilt, place the needle where that stitch was made in this row at the beginning. Right clicked, selected shift all to one point, and I'm good to go.